My name is Alan Johnson. In 1968, it was a big year. I just graduated from college, and I started my first job as a high school teacher in Kelso, Washington. The thing that was important for me was to teach with passion and to create a community. And a wonderful thing happened. I fell in love with my students, and I'd like to think that they fell in love with me. In any case, we decided to have a reunion some 50 years later from their sophomore year in high school here at my home in Richland, Washington. And I want to tell you, it was a joy to have them. A joy to watch and to hear how they grew into mature, grounded adults. What a thrill. But I think I'll let them speak for themselves. Here they are. Kelso High School, class of 1971.
Welcome from the 5 amigos from the Kelso class of 1971. We are being graciously hosted by our former Kelso High teacher, English teacher, drama coach, Mr. Alan Johnson, and his beautiful wife, Nita.
Yay!
Here in Richland, Washington. Beautiful home they have. And we have been visiting him the last 3 days and really looking into our lives, where we've come in the last 47 years since we graduated. And Mr. Johnson has led us on a little journey to quirk our memories and to look within ourselves, where we're going, where we've been, how we've formed ourselves. And just really want to thank he and Nita for everything they've done for us. And we've done some other beautiful things that these ladies will talk about in the last 3 days. And we're really looking forward to the 50th, and we miss a lot of you and hope to see you at the 50th reunion there.
That's right. Well, we weren't sure what we were getting into, and so there was probably a little fear and trepidation going in, but I think we've laughed, we've learned, and we leave loving each other even more than when we got here.
Just
Take it, Barb.
Just being with these few classmates, and like we said, it would have been fun to have a lot more of you with us.
Yes.
But it just reminded me one more time of the friendships from high school, and it also reminded me that we are the best class Kelso ever had.
1971.
Just want to thank you, Alan and Nita, for hosting us, putting up with us, our laughter, our outbursts, all these different things. But that's who we are. That's what makes up us. That's what makes up our friendship. We missed a lot of people at the reunion here, the mini reunion, but we hope to see everybody in our next 50th class reunion.
And I would like to thank Nita and Alan too. I did have some apprehension, but I have to say I really enjoyed it. It was very special, special hearing memories and deep thoughts.
Yes.
And I just enjoyed being here. Thank you.
The thing that comes to my mind is I had never met your wife before, Nita, and just to see what a sweet precious lady that she is, and is so kind, and she's such a great hostess. And I'd never met her before, so I was a little apprehensive, and we're kind of invading your home a little bit. But she just made us feel so welcome.
Yes.
And that's what I have to say. And you made us feel welcome too, but not like your wife.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, I think it just struck me when I came into the home, I had no preconceived notion of what the home would be like, but oh my gosh, you could just see, Alan, your passions that came through with the photography, the beautiful pictures and the paintings and all the musical instruments that you can play, from the trumpets and the guitars and all your wind instruments and all the different things, and piano, and how you can just adapt into almost any song and get right in and start playing. And I really enjoyed that, being a person that loves music. But I think, on a deeper side, I think, it really hit me that some of the things that I've done in my past, maybe making other people, a little bit invisible, and some things we talked about that, I'm going to work on, as I move forward and, into my late 60s and, and move on.
I think this weekend with some of the discussion reminded me of how, for lack of better words, far I've come over the years. And it was motivating because of different subjects that I still got a lot to give. And I'm looking forward to what that's going to be. And I'm excited to try some new things. I think I'm going to take piano lessons. Thank you, Alan. And it was just really good to be reminded that even though we are in our 60s, we're not done yet.
We are?
Yes. One of the things we talked about a little bit was our relationships with people and our friendships. And even though we've known each other for a long time, there's still a lot to learn about each other and what we can give to each other. And I learned a lot about these folks, and that enriches my life.
And I think talking about passions, we have passions that we've had in the past and how we can have new passions as we move forward. Yeah.
I just wanted to add back in the 68, 69, 70, 71, when Alan Johnson was my English teacher, a couple things that came to my mind was, and I shared with him over the weekend, was I wrote a paper about the black of our past, and Kelso was, pretty Caucasian back in the 60s, and I had very racist grandparents and uncles and aunts, and he opened my eyes, with some comments he made as I wrote the paper, and I think it really opened me up to diversity and looking at those type of things, and made me a better coach, to a diverse group of young men, whether it was football or wrestling. And my English definitely improved, and my reading I had never read before until I took American Lit my senior year from Alan, and ever since I've read a lot of historical novels and American literature, and anyway, I think he had a huge impact in my life.
I had the privilege of thanking Mr. Johnson after all these years for opening an avenue for me throughout these last 46 years, and that was through his class and what I learned about speaking, giving speeches, and it's just been really wonderful to reflect back on how he encouraged me and now how these past years I've gotten to use what I learned from him to speak to others.
I didn't have the privilege of having Mr. Johnson in class at Kelso High School. I knew he was a wildly popular teacher. And as grown-ups, we reflect back on the impact teachers had on our lives, but I don't think we have a real appreciation for the impact we have as students on our instructors and teachers. And hearing that we do and did is enlightening, I think, how important we can be to them as much as they are to us. So I'm glad we had an impact on your life and made it richer somehow. And this is like a thank you to us from you.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to second what Debbie just said, because I remember taking drama from you and thinking, wow, this is my teacher. But it was also that you brought a lot out of us as well, even though you were so handsome, debonair, whatever. It just brought a lot of us, the ones that took drama, to express it even more so. As if I needed any more expressing.
Oh, man. Yeah, and I'll never forget the concert that you gave at the new Kelso High School, just opened our senior year, and sang some beautiful Simon and Garfunkel songs. And I thought that was so cool, and it's kept me playing the guitar and doing a little singing ever since.
And we've done a lot of singing this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's a good one.
You might even hear a little bit of it.
I'd like to share very quickly something that I learned when I was teaching at Kelso. I had a theory. I thought that for each class hour, if I was always changing the pace, if I was always creating, if I was always making the class exciting, that I would not have a problem with discipline. And it worked. I was delighted that it worked. I knew it was working because their eyes were on me. They were watching me constantly as if to ask, what is this guy going to do next? So that's a reminder for those of you who are watching this, who are thinking about teaching, or perhaps you know someone who is thinking about teaching. Let them know that the first rule is to have fun, be creative, make the classroom exciting. Here we go. Under the boardwalk, take 137. Oh, the sun beats down and melts the tar on the roof. And your shoes get so hot, you wish your tired feet were fireproof. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah. On a blanket with my baby is where I'll be. Under the boardwalk,
Out of the sun,
under the boardwalk,
we'll be having some fun.
under the boardwalk,
People walking above,
under the boardwalk,
we'll be falling in love.
under the boardwalk, boardwalk.
From a park you hear the happy sounds from a carousel. You can almost taste the hot dogs and french fries they sell.
Under the boardwalk, down by the sea,
Yeah,
on a blanket with my baby is where I'll be. Under the boardwalk,
Out of the sun,
under the boardwalk,
we'll be having some fun.
under the boardwalk,
People walking above.
under the boardwalk,
We'll be falling in love.
under the boardwalk, boardwalk. The Drifters.
Sullivan, here we go.
Watch out.